So would I buy this $1.8 million pediatric practice? Let's talk about this. This is a real pediatric practice listed for sale on BizBuySell, asking $1.8 million with $921,000 in claimed cash flow and just over $2 million in revenue. Now on the surface, that's a 1.95 times SDE multiple, which is relatively cheap. But this is a professional service. The exam rooms are not the business. The lease is not the business. The doctor may actually be the business. And that's what this listing won't say out loud. It claims $921,000 of SDE off 6 employees, and it never tells us who provides the medicine. So I want to know whether I'm buying a practice or paying $1.8 million for one retiring doctor's waiting room. So let me show you what this listing proves, what it doesn't, and whether I'd take the call. So here's what the listing actually tells us. And before we do any math, I want to separate what the listing says from what anybody's proven. The asking price is $1.8 million and inventory's extra. Cash flow is $921,000, and that's stated as SDE. Revenue is just over $2 million, and that one's seller supplied. The practice started in 2005, so roughly 21 years ago. It says there are 6 full-time employees, but it doesn't tell us what any of them do, which is a strange thing to leave out of a medical listing. Rent's about $15,000 a month on 3,150 square feet. The lease runs to May 2035, so there's a long time left on that one. And there's about $57,000 of inventory, and it's not included in the price. Now, those are all listing facts and seller claims. They are not diligence. They're enough to keep us reading. They're not enough to call this cash flow that transfers to somebody new. So the multiple's cheap. Replacing the doctor may not be. And here's why I'd still keep reading. The price is 1.95 times reported SDE. So that's an SDE margin of 46%. It does hand us real things to dig into. That 1.95 times multiple gives us room. The practice has run since 2005, and the lease goes through May 2035. It says the payer mix and the service mix are both diversified, and those 6 employees give us an operating base. And so all of those are reasons stacked for it that make this interesting. But look at what the brochure does not establish. It doesn't prove that $921,000 of SDE, and it doesn't prove a single add back behind it. It doesn't prove whether the seller is the main physician or the medical director. It doesn't tell us how many providers there are, what they get paid, or whether they're staying after close. It doesn't show us how revenue and patients break down by provider and by payer. And it doesn't prove whether the licenses, the credentialing, and the payer contracts transfer. And look, I'm not saying the broker's lying. I'm saying the listing's doing its job. Now we've got to do ours. So a medical practice without the provider map isn't a deal yet. This is the part that can change the entire deal. Here's what we know. The listing says there are 6 full-time employees, and the seller's offering 4 weeks of training. Here's what we don't know. It doesn't tell us who the physicians are, who the nurse practitioners are, who the medical director is, or how much clinical work the seller is carrying. We don't know what the payer mix looks like. We don't know how much each provider produces. We don't know where the credentialing sits or how concentrated the patients are. So here's the assumption to test. A buyer may need to recruit or retain a physician at market pay before any of that reported SDE is transferable. Parents don't stay for the sign on the door. They stay for the person who's been seeing their kid since birth. None of those are red flags on their own. They're the things the next call has to answer. If the evidence is good, we keep going. If the seller can't produce it, we stop. So how much of that $921,000 do I actually trust? The listing gives us exactly one SDE number, and that's the $921,000. What it doesn't give us is the add back bridge. So there's no real detail on what's inside it. So I'm not going to invent expenses that are missing, but I am going to stress test the number against reality. So I'm going to accept 75% of that SDE, which puts us in the middle ground. It's not super aggressive where I'm saying there's no value, but it's aggressive enough that this isn't all cash floating into your hands. That takes us down to $691,000. So that's a haircut of about $230,000 right off the top. And that doesn't mean 25% of it's fake. It means I want to know whether this deal survives when some of that cash flow disappears. For an owner-operator, that accepted SDE is your compensation and your profit combined before debt. So if you don't want to be in that practice every day, somebody else has to be, and you've got to pay them at market rate. And the moment you do, this math changes. Same business, same price, different buyer model. So now let's back it into debt service and find out if the price survives financing. The buyer puts in $90,000. The seller carries another $90,000 at 0% interest on full standby. And that leaves a modeled SBA loan of $1.6 million. Monthly SBA debt service is about $21,000, so that's roughly $256,000 a year. Against our accepted SDE, debt coverage is 2.69 times. And as an owner-operator, you're left with about $434,000 after debt service. Not as high as that headline number, right? And that's before tax, working capital, future capital spending, and surprises. And remember, that's also before any physician replacement cost right there in the note. If it turns out you need to hire the doctor, you run this whole screen again, and it will not look this friendly. And you can see right there how fast a cheap multiple stops feeling cheap. The spreadsheet tells us whether the structure is possible. It doesn't prove the seller's numbers. Now that first broker call has 6 jobs. And at this point, I'm not asking the broker to sell me the business. It's not about negotiating price. We're not there yet. I'm trying to answer 6 questions. First, what does the seller actually do, clinically and on the admin side, and how many patients and hours a week does that take? Second, walk me through every provider, their license, what they're paid, what they produce, and whether they're staying after close. Third, break the revenue down by provider, by payer, by service line, and by patient group over the last 3 years. Fourth, show me the SDE bridge, the tax returns, and the lender accepted add backs over those same 3 years. Fifth, which payer contracts and credentials transfer, and how long does recredentialing take? And sixth, show me the patient volume, the appointment capacity, the no-show rates, the receivables aging, and the malpractice history. Now, if the broker can't answer all of those on the first call, that's fine. If the seller can't produce the evidence after an NDA, that's not fine. So the price earns a call. The provider structure decides whether the cash flow transfers. That's the crux of it. So would I buy it? Obviously, nobody can answer that off a biz buy sell listing. Would I take the next call? Yeah, but carefully. At one point, 9.5 times reported SDE, there's enough room to investigate. But the listing hands us 6 employees without telling us who treats the patients or what the retiring seller does. So I'd take that call for one reason, and that's to map every provider, every payer contract, and the real replacement cost. The documents and the operating evidence decide whether this deserves an offer. So really, it all comes down to the provider structure. My first pass verdict is proceed with caution. It's definitely worth a call, but it has not earned a let's sign a check today kind of approach. That's a decision about the next call. It's not a decision to buy.